I'm going to go through exit slip 4.4 here, and our I can statement is to use variables to write algebraic expressions that can represent situations. So we've got to write some algebraic expressions here. Okay, these you got to be really careful reading and figure out what's going on, and then we can try and get them into the expression that represents what's going on. So in question A, we've got Mikan is 6 inches taller than Aoki. So when I study that, I know Aoki is shorter by 6 inches. Now they're going to tell me if Mikan is T inches tall. Mikan, so I know Mikan's height. We're going to call it T. Represents Mikan's height. How tall is Aoki? Now I know Aoki is shorter because Mikan is taller. So if I know Mikan's, I can call that T to represent Mikan, whatever that height is. And then to get Aoki, I would have to subtract 6 because I know Aoki is 6 less than Mikan. Okay, and if people don't read this very carefully, they're not sure which one's taller, and sometimes they'll be adding and doing things. So make sure you really read carefully. Okay, question B. Calculators cost $9 each. How much do C calculators cost? So C stands for any amount of calculators. I don't know. Okay, so we'll just call it C, and if they cost $9 each, I just need to multiply every calculator times 9. So one thing you could do, you could write C times 9, and you'll find out in algebra again, you don't need to use time signs. We've talked about this a little bit. So another way to write this, you could just put $9 times C, 9C, which just means 9 times C. No symbol means we multiply. Okay, so that's the way you'll start to see it more and more, and we won't see it with this symbol in here to write it. We know we don't use the X because that kind of looks like an X, so we don't use that for the time sign anymore. Most of the time you'll see it without. Question C, 18 less than 3 times C, or than 3 times T. People see 18 less and they'll think 18 subtract. They think we have to go in order, but you got to understand the situation. 18 less than 3 times T. Before I can get 18 less, I have to know what 3 times T is. So I'm going to do 3 times T first, and I'm going to use 3 times T. I'm not going to use a time sign there. We know that means 3 times T. And then get 18 less than that, I can just subtract 18, and that's going to get less by 18. I don't need parentheses or anything here because I know with order of operations, I always multiply before I subtract anyway. So 3 times T, subtract 18, you'll get 18 less than that 3 times T. Okay, next one says increase the product of 2 and 9 by X. So I see product, and I need to know my vocabulary. I know that means multiply. We're going to increase the product of 2 and 9 by X. So again, before I increase that product, I have to know the product. So I need to take 2 times 9, okay, and that's the product of 2 and 9. And now my job is to increase that by X. So that means to increase means to add. So then I would add X to it. All right, so there's the product of 2 and 9. I don't need parentheses. Some people want to put parentheses there to do it first. But following the rules, again, you always multiply before you add anyway. So 2 times 9 gets me the product. And I know that'd be 18. And then I need to add X to it, whatever X may be. And question E, 1/4 as much as 21 more than M. So I want 1/4 as much, which means it's going to be a lower amount. I just want 1/4 of something, as 21 more than M. So again, I need to find 21 more than M first. Well, 21 more than M, I could write M plus 21. Because I know M, if I want 21 more than that, I'd add. And then if I want 1/4 of that, if I want to use what they gave me, 1/4 here, I need to put that in parentheses because I got to do that first. That's 21 more than M. And if I want 1/4 of that, remember, I can multiply by 1/4. And I don't need to use a multiply sign there because we know no symbol means multiply. So that's one way to write it. Some people might do this, M plus 21 divided by 4, because we know multiplying by 1/4 is the same as dividing by 4. This way I wouldn't need parentheses. The reason this is probably the best answer, though, I'm kind of following what it says. 1/4 as much usually means we're going to use 1/4 in there. But again, if you know multiplying by 1/4 is dividing by 4, this would also get you an expression that would get you the right answer. If I knew what M was, I then would be able to solve this expression. So different levels of difficulty on these, and they definitely can be tough at times. You got to be a good reader and just get a lot of experience trying to write these expressions for different situations.